Hi, I'm Paula Bernier with TMC. I'm here at ITEXPO in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, speaking with James Martino with Avotus. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us, Paula.
For those not familiar with Avotus, can you tell us a little bit about the company and what it sells to whom?
Yeah, sure. So we're about a 35-year-old company and have been in the intelligent communications management space is what we call it. And what we do is we help enterprise customers, government customers to enhance the returns on their networks by getting greater visibility into their networks, by allowing them to capture the usage data and the data on the network, and then that all helps them to save money overall.
So we're here at IT Expo. What are you doing at the show? What are you talking about? What products are you discussing?
Well, Paul, it's an exciting time. We really have evolved over the years from a company that started with its roots in call accounting to now developing that into the ability to monitor all types of VoIP systems. And then most recently we announced in the fall that we now have the ability to manage and report on and do data capture and analytics on the full UC platform. So we're really here to talk about UC analytics. And we have integrated our platform now with all the major UC players out there, Avaya, Genband, BroadSoft, Microsoft Link, to name a few. And we're also connected to 130 different legacy switches. And what it allows us to do is to give our customers a full report detailing the usage that's taking place across the UC platform. So if you are looking in or doing an investigation on an employee in the organization, you can basically go into our system and get a full understanding of how that employee is utilizing video conferencing, audio conferencing, presence, their wireline phone calls, their wireless phone calls, all in one place. And what we found is that we had a $2.5 billion unified communications market growing to a $7.5 billion unified communications market. And these unified communications platforms, while they give you productivity and they're really advantageous for companies, they have them inherently within them is a significant amount of risk to the enterprise. And that risk comes in legal liability risk, employee abuse risk, non-compliance with things like HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, Dodd-Frank, and the loss of intellectual property. Right, so our IT managers are out there. They're giving the employees the tools that they want, getting their productivity, and those tools can be abused. Right, you can go into your video conferencing session, for example, and you can do file share or screen share, and you can use that to move intellectual property from inside the enterprise to outside the enterprise. And when you do that, none of that is typically being tracked in the UC systems today. So Avotus' answer to that is an enhanced usage reporting or UC analytics package that goes with each one of those providers and provides them for less than 3% of the total cost of a UC platform. You can get a full package that's going to give you the visibility into all that usage so that you can mitigate that risk and not lose money to legal claims or to intellectual property being lost. So we're on an evangelical mission, quite frankly, Paula, because we're concerned about the $2.5 billion worth of platforms that are installed and customers don't maybe understand all the risks that are there, and we want to make sure that the next $5 billion of UC that goes out the door in a safe way that protects enterprises and makes our reseller and carrier customers look good.
And you said you had some big data analytics partners. Who are they? And did you say you recently signed on some new ones?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Once you've created a hub to be able to capture all this data on all these different pieces of the UC pie, a lot of people come knocking on your door, right? So we end up doing a deal with a company called TrustSphere, and TrustSphere is in the big data relationship analytics space. What they do is they're able to create maps of relationships between people within an organization and between people in an organization outside that organization, and show you how the organization actually works versus the way the org chart says it's supposed to work. Okay? They've come to us and said, look, we've been analyzing email data for a long period of time. We want to plug in your UC analytics platform that picks up all those other pieces of the UC pie, and we want to put that into our relationship analytics space so we have a fuller picture of what kind of communication flows are taking place within and outside the organization across the whole UC platform. And so we're really delighted to see that. It's bringing us into a new area. And from there, we're seeing the CRM folks come along. The CRM folks are coming along and saying, look, we want to understand more about what our sales force is doing. Okay, so take your UC data, take your relationship analytics, and I want you to feed it up into my CRM so I can see whether or not a salesperson who's, let's say, is responsible for Walmart is actually having the communication flows that one would expect of managing that account, and being able to validate whether or not the funnel is actually being backed up by the activity that you'd expect to see. So really exciting times for us. Dust off an old call accounting product, turn it into something new with UC and VoIP, end up into a relationship analytics play. Next thing we're talking CRM, and it's really a fantastic time.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Paula.